He's got the look. What do you think? Hey? We're going to get this vehicle done, eh? Come on then. So on today's episode, we're going to do a little bit of talk about cooling, and we're going to get to fitting the oil coolers. First things first, cooling. So we have a window of opportunity to work with in the front of the car that basically we can't put anything bigger in there, or we'd have to relocate the radiator, oil cooler, transmission cooler, whatever it may be. That physical space is what we would limit the power to, really, because you could chase way more power, but if you can't cool it and you can't relocate the radiator to another location, you're stuck with what you've got to work with. So if you had a 400 square front, you've got to limit what power you're going to go for, because you can only work with that area. Or you need to look at other cooling options. A charge cooler works differently to an intercooler. It's not saying it works better, it's a different type of cooling. Now, position of oil coolers, position of intercoolers. So in a standard setup, you would usually see your intercooler at the front, in front of the radiator. Now, I've heard said that an oil cooler won't work behind the back of a radiator. That's nonsense. Oil isn't something that you want to keep cold, nor is water. It's something that wants to be at a working temperature. It doesn't want to be too hot, it doesn't want to be too cold. You want it to be in a working range, because if it's too cold, it can do damage to the engine. If it's too hot, it can do damage to the engine. Now, if you fit an oil cooler in a position that's not standard, lots of people do it. Ultra 4 race cars, they don't have their cooling packs, as a rule, at the front of the car. They have them in the back of the car. Make a larger radiator, which is a bigger heatsink. So, point A, will a radiator work in the front or back of the car? Yes, it will. However, it has to be the right size. So lots of people also do lots of different engine conversions, petrol engine, diesel engine, and use a Land Rover as, you know, somebody will ask the question, I've seen it asked before, a guy who's putting a 606 inside a Defender is asking a guy who's done a Cummins engine conversion, what has he used to cool his car? Now, with a Cummins engine conversion, it's a completely different engine. Just because it's going in a Land Rover doesn't mean it's going to act the same. Using a Cummins engine and a 606 engine and comparing the radiators, it's completely pointless. Another thing that factors in is the load on the car, the weight of the vehicle. If you had a car that was very light compared to a car that was very heavy, a car that was geared differently, a car that had massive tyres on, a lot of rolling resistance, aerodynamics, all these things play a factor on the cooling. I'm not standing here saying that I know everything. We have a lot of experience, and we have suppliers that have a lot of experience. And if we make a phone call to our suppliers saying, you know, we've got this project that we've never seen before, we've never done it before, is there a chance that you've done it before? Oh yeah, well, you know, we've done that before, and this is the solution that we came out with. So we can get to a good solution relatively quickly, or advise accordingly, or make the correct decisions and work progressively. So we would never go to a customer and say, oh yeah, this works, that's what you need to use, unless you had full confidence and commitment in, yeah, we've done the testing, we've done it in this vehicle, we've done it in that vehicle, we've loaded it on there, we've tried this, we've tried that, and yes, you know, we can guarantee that that does work for that application. We're just scratching the surface, and that's just a little bit of how we size a core given its location. If there's anything that you need regarding intercoolers, oil coolers, radiators, just drop us an email with your questions, and tell us a bit about the car that you're building and the power that you're going for, and we'll try our best to help accordingly. I hope that if you're looking to build a cooling pack now, you've got a bit more knowledge than you started off with. So now the oil coolers are built, we'll get in depth into how we're going to fit the oil coolers.
Making these a little bit smaller. Yeah, I've test fit the radiator inside the vehicle. I've decided my location for my oil coolers, the height, so it clears the bonnet catch when it shuts. I've got the brackets. These are bobbins that are lathed here. They're going to weld onto the sides. I'm then going to make a 90-degree bracket that comes off. I'm going to weld this tab on the side. And these are rubber mounts. I'm going to use rubber mounts on the bottom. The reason I'm using rubber mounts on the bottom is just to take a bit of the vibration out, so there'll be no cracks or potential problems. Yeah, so that's the oil cooler now. All the bobbins are welded onto the ends, and we're trial fitting in the vehicle, making sure the AN6 fittings clear the pieces that could cause interference problems. Little temporary bracket knocked up. There's going to be a full bracket goes down here for the other oil cooler to go on as well. That's just so we can get dimensions and locations, making sure that everything's cleared. This radiator wasn't made by us, so we're having to make a different set of adapters to what we would make normally, but it is what it is. So this is our standard mount. We make everything so it bolts on in original location, so there's no modifications to the vehicle or minimal modifications to the vehicle. So if you have a problem in the future, you can then change back to a standard radiator, or you could get something to get you home. We had some interference issues with this mount, and the kit of parts that were sent with the original radiator, it was a mount on a mount on a mount with a bit of rubber and stuff. So yeah, that's just, we're not going to use that. This is our slam panel for our 606 engine conversions that we're now adapting to make fit onto this, so we'll get that next stage done. Yeah, so that's it now, all welded together, fitted in the car. Got a nice bit of clearance on the bottom of these ANs to spin them round, put them where we want. Rubber mounts on the lowers, just takes the vibration out, and single mount on the top, and the oil coolers are all joined together. So yeah, happy days.
I hope you enjoyed that video, and thanks for watching. The next video that we could do would be assembling the air condenser, the hardware that holds it in place. I mean, everything's there so you can see how it works, you can see what we've done and how we do it. I hope the video was informational enough for you and I've covered everything. If I didn't cover everything and you think there's something that I missed, just leave a comment below and I'll look to cover that. The next thing that we've got to do, or the next things that we've got to do, there's a titanium air intake to put on this particular car. It's not really a long video, but if that's something that you want to see, yet again, leave a comment below and I'll try to do that. The other things that we've got, I've sort of dropped a few hints on other videos. There's the F100 606 that we've done some work on. There's a turbo manifold to fit to that, it's already made. There's a downpipe to adjust and some other bits and pieces. So I could do that. We don't like to use it on the roads in winter because of the grit salt. Pretty precious to us is that car. So I don't want to do some driving shots of it, but I do have access to a dyno, and we could do something with that. So if that's something that you want to see, leave a comment, let us know. The other thing that we've got is the 606 Discovery. That was dropped a year ago. We were going to do loads of stuff with it. Things happen, one thing and another. But I'm actually going to look to prioritise that and do some more footage of that. There's obviously been an amount of work that's happened to it. You've seen us at the shows. I'm not showing you how we did it. There'll be video showing that and a bit of a time lapse to get us up to now. But I plan on doing a bit of a build series on that, showing the car and showing various things, because there's quite a bit of work to do. So if you've liked what we've done, press like, subscribe, you know how it works. We're not doing this to become YouTubers, we're not doing this to become famous, we just want to show you what we do and how we do it. If you like what we're doing, yeah, let your friends know, and thanks very much. Wonder. As said before, we're just doing it because it's a lot of fun. So if you like what we're doing, yeah, thanks very much. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. You can have a go. Rolling in a mobile, name on the market sign. Your singing's good. Raving at the women that are standing in the ticket line. Hey, I like you singing. Wanted to the stage, I know that's the only place I'm ever gonna want to be. Hey, you're missing the chorus. Guitars breaking all the girls' hearts, that's the only night for me. Oh,